Feeling sassafras.
Sassafras.
I like that word.
It's a great word.
My headphones are really loose, Kristina.
That's okay.
I know. I said it was okay before I started, but like they hang down to my cheek. Like,
they're too big. Then
I've got them as
you
tight
can adjust
as they can
if
go.
you.
No, see, they're as tight as. They're as adjusted as small as I can go. I just have a really little head.
And that's the pair for
I'm really
giants.
self-conscious about it, and these headphones have made that worse.
Yeah. Plus, there's messy giants in the studio because they left a mess in the studio. I had to do a lot of cleaning this morning, but it looks great now. It's all neat and tidy.
Do we have a vacuum? I never really.
Yeah, she vacuums. Courtney vacuums.
Courtney vacuums?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't done that before.
Me neither, because we're slackers.
I know. We do pick up, though, kind of.
We do pick up.
All right, I just have to put my car keys somewhere where I won't lose them because ever since you said that about car keys, now I'm feeling paranoid that I'm going to lose them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I followed you.
I know. I noticed halfway here that there was.
You know, you were taking your time.
I was going slow because, see, my clutch is about to go, and I am trying to shift as little as possible, so I didn't want to get out of fourth gear into fifth, so I decided just to stay going
I see.
45 the whole way. Sorry.
Yeah, you were like 40, 45.
Yeah. I eventually said, this is ridiculous when I got to the big straightaway. And I said, and I knew you were behind me at that point. So I was like, if I break down, Kristina's behind me.
Yeah.
So if I have to slam on my flashers and roll sadly to the side of the road dead, she will save me. So then I felt like it was okay to go into fifth gear.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was fun.
There's a lot you have to think about when you're poor and you drive old cars.
Gosh, you bet. Mine was back in the shop this week.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was the axle.
Oh, I think that's what's wrong with John's car. The whole back end is like swimming around, like it's not even attached anymore.
Does it have a kind of a grinding sound?
Oh, it always does. I don't think I've never in my entire life owned a car where at least the check engine light wasn't on all the time. And
that's a given.
Mysterious
with a Subaru, that's just a given.
So.
Yeah. So
I was reminiscing the other day about the cars that I drove in high school and what a paranoid mom I am. And I actually grew up with a paranoid mom as well. So it's weird to me that my parents let me drive a vehicle in high school that had no brakes really to speak of.
Wow. They trusted you.
And I was the carpool for the whole neighborhood in Tunbridge.
Really?
Yeah. I had a big old boat. It was like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like this peach-colored Chevy thing with like little wings on the back because it was my great-grandmother's. And it had lost the cap to the brake fluid containery, where you put the brake fluid. So
Yes.
the reason that it really didn't have any brakes is because the brake fluid always just sloshed out as you were driving. And I don't know why I couldn't just have like put some saran wrap in a
masking tape.
I don't know what the issue exactly was. There was something else wrong with it too.
They trusted you. They trusted you to crash safely.
Right, but there was not even any seatbelts in the back seat because it was an old
that's
car.
why they trusted you to crash safely.
I had like 8 kids in there, and I would drive to high school every day as the carpool for the Tunbridge kids towards South Royalton because we don't have a high school, with a whole pile of kids in the back seat and really technically no brakes.
That's amazing. I didn't drive in high school. I learned how to drive, but I never drove.
I drove the last couple years.
I had a friend who drove her VW Bug.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was fun. That you could see through the floor.
Whoa.
You couldn't get away with that today. Yeah, I don't think you can get away with that now.
I remember my parents had this like soft top thing. I also don't remember what it was, but growing up, and it leaked real bad.
A soft-topped thing. I like that.
A vehicle, some sort of car.
That's kind of a nice thing, an endearing thing to call somebody.
The soft top was like more non-existent than soft. So like I remember we came down to our car one time and opened the door to get in, and the footwells were just like knee high with mushrooms, like had grown overnight in it because it had rained, and it was like I remember that being like a weird, shocking thing as a child, like getting into your car and finding that like a little forest of mushrooms had grown in the footwells while you were sleeping.
Fairies.
Maybe.
Elves.
Fairies in the soft top.
That proves it. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking at this little bag of, I'll post this little bag of sassafras. Kristina sneakily hands me like a bag of what looks like drugs in the parking lot this morning. But upon closer inspection, it's a bag of bark,
very
not drugs.
Special gift from Tina and Keith.
Oh shoot! The picture I just took of it was totally out of focus. I'm gonna have to do it again.
Try it again.
All right, hold on a second.
Because we're gonna have to make tea.
Yep.
And Keith or Tina, I can't remember who, maybe both. They prefer to have it chilled,
like iced tea.
Yeah. So you got it.
I can't get you.
Okay,
there you are. I'm gonna put the
All right, she's taking the shot. It's looking good. Yeah, baby.
Okay, let's see if I got that one in focus.
Hopefully, I wasn't making a funny face.
Better. Oh, wait.
Did I have a funny face?
You don't have a funny face, but I have a double chin. Repeating. Okay, hold on. Where did I get this?
How are you going to change the double chin?
Well, I don't think I have one in real life. It's just the way I was looking. I got to go up higher like this. Okay. Can I see you? Wait, I got to turn.
Okay.
Selfies
are terrible.
You know what? I'm just going to wait until we play a song because I can't, do this.
We will accomplish this.
I'm not sure how to eliminate the double chin, get you in the picture, and the bag of
that's a contortion.
Drugs.
Yeah, so I saw you last night at the photography show.
I thought we were going to be late. I knew you were going to be a little bit late, and I thought we were going to be late too, so we could totally coincide this. Yeah. And then we managed to get off of the meeting that I had before that a little early. Because you were early.
You had a dress on.
I did, because I had three slightly fancy-ish events to go to in a row.
I see.
It was my mom's retirement party yesterday from the Vermont Law School, so we went to that first. Like it was like a little brunchy thing, and then I had to go to the staff meeting for the Moral Homestead, which is opening this weekend. So that wasn't really fancy, but I figured. And then we had to go to Jack Rowell's art opening, and I was like, oh, borderline fancy. So I said, I'll wear a dress.
That was fun. But I had to drive directly from my landscaping job.
Oh, yes.
In Barnard.
Yep.
So I couldn't really change. I did change my footwear. I didn't wear my dirty sneakers.
Oh, yeah. You had your little Italian boots on.
Yeah, I thought at least I could do that much. But there wasn't much else I could do with the rest of it.
You looked pretty cool.
I was okay. I mean, it was okay. I think the important part was just that I showed up because I wanted to show up for Jack.
Me too.
And so, things always happen at art openings. For me, there's always certain things that I can expect.
Yeah.
One of them is that I'm going to walk in and there's going to be this person who hates me who's going to try to avoid me as soon as they see me.
Yeah.
It was true last night.
I didn't see anyone who hated you.
No, it's not, hate is probably too strong of a word. It's just somebody who feels uncomfortable. I make them feel uncomfortable. It's sort of a jilted lover kind of situation 20 years ago.
Oh.
And so I walk in, and you had told me, you had said, well, you should get Jack an iced tea.
Yeah.
And that's on the first floor, and then take it up to the third floor. So I went looking for the iced tea, and the guy was standing right by the iced tea table.
Oh, no.
So that kind of screwed up that plan.
Yep.
So I thought about it, and I said, I'm just going to back out of this. So then I go up to the third floor, and I look around for Jack, and he's not there. And somebody says, oh, he just went down the elevator to the first floor. So
He probably was going to get an iced tea.
I know, he's going to get an iced tea. So then I think, oh, dang it. Well, so I looked at all the photographs, which was really great because they were so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said, well, I could skip out the back door now if I...
Was there a back door?
Yeah, I think there was a back door. There was an exit sign, but then I thought, but Jack hasn't seen that I'm here yet. And so I had to go back to the iced tea table where the guy was that hates me and see Jack.
He was still there?
Unfortunately, yes.
Weird.
But I have a good body language thing that I do where I kind of went in and just focused on Jack and then slowly turned my back to him so it would give him a chance to escape, which he did. He took the escape route and left.
Good going.
So, thanks.
Wow, the sassafras smells really good. I can smell it.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, smell it. It's so sweet.
I gotta do this 'cause
Yeah, I think you might have to pop
sound
the bag open a little bit to smell it.
Oh, okay.
It just smells wicked good.
Wow, that's such a great smell, like root beer.
It smells like root beer. It's really nice.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, is it the sassafras tree? Like, what grows sassafras?
You always ask me science facts, which I never know the answer to.
It smells really amazing.
If you ask me, like, what do you feel like when you smell sassafras, I can answer that. But if you say, what tree does it come from, it's going to be an immediate fail.
I mean, I literally have never heard of like a sassafras tree. Have you?
I don't think they grow in the north. It's not a northern plant.
Wow.
Yeah.
It smells pretty great. Highly recommend this smell. So far. That's my thoughts so far on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get my list out. Sorry. Oh, wait. Let's introduce the show.
That's a good fallback plan. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm on the very last page. It just fell out of my little...
Are you going to save the book?
Yeah, although all the pages are falling out. I hate when that happens. Notebooks that have all the pages like put in just with like that sticky, sticky binding edge.
Yeah.
When the stick is all used up, they just fall out. That's a design flaw that I don't care for.
That's why God made rubber bands, because you can just put a rubber band around it.
But just really the spiral bound notebooks probably work better because you'd have to tear.
Look, why God made rubber bands. I'm going to make a note for you.
We could do a pamphlet on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we haven't started our pamphlet series yet, but I think we should. We're a little bit overdue on that.
Maybe this should be our summer of doing things.
Yeah. Making more buttons, maybe some hats.
I just got a whole huge refill for my button maker. I got 1,000 more pieces, so we're good now.
Have you been like making buttons?
Yes, my original button maker that I got 2 or 3 years ago came with enough to make 1,000 buttons, and I've used them all up. So.
What other buttons have you made?
We've made a lot of poop emoji buttons for the
of course
8th grade class trip fundraiser. Those are very popular among the
How much do those go for?
Set. Oh, they all go for $1.
Okay. Nice.
Let's see.
That is a useful tool then. That's a fundraising tool.
It's a fundraising tool.
I want to get one. How much do they cost?
They cost a lot. It was like $400 or $500, but then you have it forever, and you can just
make buttons.
Except for then you have to order the little pieces, like all the little pin back pieces to make the buttons.
Buttons are just the coolest.
They kind of are. I make a lot for my clogging group. I've made a lot for a lot of things. And John is about to start campaigning, so he was like, "Oh, we need to get more supplies for the button maker." So we're going to be buttoning up the wazoo.
You should have a button display. You should post your buttons on the website, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
You don't post enough stuff on the 11th Hour Facebook page.
You're right. I never do.
I know, because there's all this cool stuff that happens.
I know. And you're always really good at least sharing I usually try to post. The one thing that I've got cemented as a scheduled thing in my head is to just post it on my page whenever we're having the radio show. And you are always good about sending it over there.
It doesn't
automatically. kind of used to think it automatically would go over there if you
Just from tagging.
if you tag it, but I guess it doesn't.
Not onto pages. I think
I don't know what
pages.
happened, but somebody made me one of the administrators for the Royalton Community Radio page. So whenever I post either on 11th Hour or on it acts as if I'm posting as Royalton Community Radio, and I don't want to like get the wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to. You can
It's very complicated.
You can change that. I think you could actually change that after you make the comment.
I tried. I went into the. I kept highlighting the little icon to see if it would be like posting as. If I could choose whether I was posting as Emily, as 11th Hour Radio, as Royalton Community Radio, because I didn't want to be posting as Royalton Community Radio. I'm not Royalton Community Radio.
No, you're just a part of it.
Right. So that was confusing to me, and I felt...
Yeah, but you were going to introduce the show, which would be nice.
11th Hour Radio. That's us.
That's us.
Kristina Stykos and Emily Howe. We broadcast here at Royalton Community Radio every Friday at 11 a.m. And
the question is, why do we do it?
We don't know.
No, try to answer the question.
We love it.
Yeah.
But we don't know why.
Why do we love it?
Because it's a good excuse to actually have a social life in a way.
It is.
Because, seriously, you and I are friends, but if we didn't have this every week, would we hang out every week?
No.
We wouldn't be able to really justify that because we're such busy people. And this is like this commitment that we can pretend like it's a commitment, but it's really because we're just friends and we actually get to hang out too.
Yeah.
And this is a good...
It's very project oriented. My friendships tend to be project oriented.
I know.
Yeah. I get together with people that I do projects with, and that's just about it. There's hardly anybody that falls outside that boundary.
I think me too, but I think it's because I have weird social anxiety, so I don't know how to. Except for like a very couple childhood friends that it's just like whatever, they're just like siblings. Yeah. Except for that, I feel like. I think we've reached the point where I think we'd be okay if we didn't have a project because it's fine. You've pretty much reached that sibling point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have to have a friend that there's a project or a goal to sort of direct the friend energy at. Otherwise, I feel too awkward to be like, I'm just going to direct my friend energy at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very intimate.
I don't know how
to have a friend.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
I know. It's a strange thing.
So it's nice to have a cover. So you're like, I want to go see my friend, but I want to pretend like I don't want to go see my friend by having a radio show.
Yeah. I think we've done pretty well.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good with
5 years, Kristina. Oh, I just looked at our 11thhourradio.com website today, and we do have to update our homepage because it says that we've been doing this for 3 years. And we've been doing it for over 5.
Wow. Okay.
So
yeah, we should get together and do a little updater.
We need to clean house a little bit with our online presence.
Yeah, we can have chilled sassafras tea.
Yeah.
And we can sit back and we can do some upgrading.
I wish my
updating.
soda stream wasn't out of carbon monoxide or whatever it is that you put in it.
I think it's dioxide.
Yeah, okay, that.
I know you.
Because you know what would be awesome?
What?
Chilled sassafras tea that was sparkly.
That was
fizzy.
That would be so great. Yeah, I could.
Man, I may have to go to like Kohl's or wherever you buy the carbon monoxide to refill my soda stream just for that purpose.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff is expensive. It's really annoying to buy a canister of CO2 is like $70, and I'm just like, all you're doing is squashing air, right? Why do you have to pay $70 to buy some squashed air in a little?
No, it's not just squashed air. If it was just squashed air, anybody could do it. I could squash air.
How are you going to squash air?
Oh, just by, putting a plastic bag and just putting some pressure on it.
All right. Well, how are you gonna contain and then market that squashed air? See, they get you there. I know anybody can squash the air, but then they trap it in a little can.
It is mystifying.
Yeah,
I agree.
That you plug into your soda stream, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
So that's $70 worth of trapped air.
Truly.
Thanks for that.
Truly, some people have better business ideas than we do.
I know.
Coming to that conclusion pretty
anytime
readily.
I think of something, like someone else already did think of it, and that's really discouraging.
Yeah, but the good thing is that a lot of the stuff that we think about is like original, and we can't do anything with it.
Well, so that's just as frustrating.
But it's
Because if you wait a couple weeks, then you'll see someone else has done something with it.
But I'd rather have the experience of original thinking rather than making money.
You know my friend Suzy? Sorry.
Suzy,
the woman who I think is like you in 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Who I've not met yet.
Yes, you have.
No, yeah, I did it.
Whenever you come by the fair, she's dressed up
Sorry.
in a colonial garb and cooking with me. But
yeah, I got the picture of her farming. She has a farm.
Well, she has
Cabot?
like kind of a homestead. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, and she's very off the grid and made her own house and cooks over the open fire. But
very off the grid.
Years ago, she got the and she's kind of like a social worker counselor person. But years ago, she got the idea for she also restores school buses and turns them into like little mini traveling homes or traveling studios.
That's cool.
And many, many years ago, she had got the idea that she would convert a bus into this like classroom for art and drive it around the state and have kids do art in this bus. And she would have a stage and puppets and blah, blah, blah. And she wrote this whole proposal to the state or whatever. And they said, no, we can't do that. We have no money for that. And she was kind of disappointed because she couldn't really fund it all herself. And then like a couple years later, the arts bus just appeared and she didn't know it. She's off the grid. She's not on any social media. She's not on anything. So she didn't even know about this. And she was like telling me about this idea that got away last year.
Oh God.
And she was describing in great detail how she wanted to do it. And I was like, you mean like the arts bus? And she's like, what's the arts bus? And I described basically the exact same thing. And she's like, who makes the art bus? And
yeah.
And so it kind of came out that it was her idea that they had told her that they'd
co-opted.
They couldn't do, and then they kind of stole it and do it anyway.
That stinks.
I know. I forgot why I was talking about this. Oh, stolen ideas, right?
Yeah. God.
But she wasn't really mad because she's not one of those people who gets really mad. She wanted the project just to happen more than having herself have to be totally involved in it. So, like, she was a little upset that they kind of turned her down, but then did it anyway. But she wasn't upset that it's out there and happening for kids.
Yes,
she really
and she
was
had
happy about that.
She had also moved on to other things that are great. I'm sure because that's the kind of person that she is.
That is true.
So she just keeps being creative and having fun. So it is time for a song.
Okay.
What
do you have lined up on the old iPad
It's
today?
kind of a fish song. Because it's fishing season. All these people are out there fishing.
I don't like fish.
I know, and I don't like killing fish, but I love the people in my life who fish. So this song I dedicate to them. It's called Exploding Bass.
I don't know.
What? Stop.
Why are they exploding?
Just trying to play a song. I'm a DJ.
Gross.
I'm a DJ on a radio show. Could I just play the song?
Do they mean exploding like they're everywhere or exploding like they're bodily?
Why? Oh, listen to the song.
I never listen to the song.
Well, listen to the show later.
Oh, yeah, that I will do.
Then you can hear the song. Okay.
All right, play it.
Okay. Here it is. This is the Davis Brothers, Exploding Bass.
Davey.
Well, this is actually the Lunkers. This is
exploding
brown
from
trout
gaseous intestines
and the
or...
Lunkers.
I need some explanation.
What's a lunker?
Like
a big
dumb guy.
Fish?
Oh, no, that's a bunker. Bunker are a type of fish.
Is that
I don't think there's a lunker.
Yes, there is.
Well, you know what? I don't like fish, so I haven't really studied up on this.
Okay, be that way.
Just play it.
Drive it to the setback, your heart beats fast. Find your favorite lure, throw it in the grass. Hold your breath and wait for exploding bass. Nothing happened yet, give the line a twitch. Exploding bass gonna scratch your itch. Good daydream of the time to pass while you wait for exploding bass. Exploding bass, exploding bass. Nothing make your heart beat quite so fast. All that in front of your eyes will pass when you hook a big exploding bass. Ain't a second before you set the hook. Suddenly your guys are in the weeds and grass. Finally caught yourself an exploding bass. Exploding bass, exploding bass. Nothing make your heart beat quite so fast. All that regret if your eyes will pass. When you hook a big exploding bass.
But the crazy is you pull her in, jump out the water, shake her fin, grab her by the lip, hold on very tight. Floating bass always give a great big fight. Hold her up to look, but treat her good. Floating bass not going to be your food. Take a picture, maybe see how much she weighs. Floating bass lives you by another day.
Exploding bass, exploding bass. Nothing make your heart beat quite so fast. All that regret if your eyes will pass. When you hook a big exploding bass, exploding bass. Nothing make your heart beat quite so fast. All that regret if your eyes will pass. When you hook a big exploding bass.
Well,
Oh my God.
we did listen to that.
I had to listen to that.
Yeah, we had to listen to that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't listen to more songs on here. What? What?
That was track 1 from Brown Trout and the Lunkers
Oh my God.
album. And they have a gig this weekend at the Coon Club, I think.
I'm not going to go unless they sing that song.
Yeah, that's Raccoons, I think.
What? They have a song called Raccoons?
Yeah, just let me say that there's not a lot of reggae that comes out of Brownsville,
You
Vermont.
say there's
It's not a lot of
not
it.
that many words that rhyme
Is
with
it?
bass, but they pretty much got them all in.
That's a creative bunch of brothers, I'll tell you.
Wow, I have not laughed so hard in a while. Got tears just streaming down my face here.
Yeah, you know, you gotta dig to get the really good music. You gotta dig. You gotta know where to look for it. I got a good nose for that. I have to say, I'm gonna congratulate myself.
Have you listened to that
Thank
song
you.
before? Did you listen to that song before today?
No.
I don't think you can congratulate yourself then because you.
No, but it's my intuition.
Oh, wow.
I have good intuition. So I picked it out today.
Right. Well, the exploding bass were not full of gaseous gas. They were just making their heart beat really fast.
Well, speaking of wildlife, this morning I was in my kitchen and I
Did you
had
see a moose?
a moose in my kitchen.
No, everybody in Chelsea's been reporting moose lately. And
No.
and recently I've said
I'm not
I
in
never see
Chelsea.
moose anymore. I know, but you're close enough.
I'm
I
in
just wondered.
South Washington. It's
All
a
right.
Superior
Fine.
area.
What did you see in your kitchen?
I saw there was a paper bag that I left on the floor because sometimes my cats like to go in paper bags.
Yeah, mine
so
too.
occasionally I will just throw an open paper bag down on the floor.
That's very kind of you.
And so I saw my one cat was sitting by the paper bag and she was meowing. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. She's playing with the other cat that's inside the bag. And so I watched it because I was sort of curious as to how they were playing.
Yeah.
And it was unusual behavior, actually, because they don't usually play like that. And then all of a sudden, this chipmunk comes running out of the bag. And it's the same chipmunk that got stuck in my house like 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, who I thought had gotten out the door. I keep leaving the doors
So
open.
the chipmunk has
the
been in your house for days.
Yeah, now it's really terrified.
And probably hungry.
And so here's the most incredible part of this story.
What?
Is that 5 minutes later, that chipmunk ran back into the paper bag.
Did you close it and take
Well,
it
then
outside?
I thought, this is my chance.
Yeah.
It's home free for Chippie. So I went over stealthily, quietly, and I mashed the bag.
Oh, no.
And,
Oh.
well, I didn't mash the bag, but
Okay.
I mashed the front of the bag
Oh,
to
God.
try to. And he's so fast. He was halfway out when I
Oh, I knew it.
So
was
I'm
gonna
so
happen.
I've got him. He's sort of smushed.
You're like stepping on him?
Sort of with my arm. I've got I'm applying a little bit of pressure and we're looking at each other.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, Chippie, I'm trying to help you. Could you just relax? But I'm squishing you to death. So what do I do? Do I let you go or could you just please go back into the bag? He did not get the message.
No.
So I had to lift my arm up, and he ran into the kitchen cupboards.
For God's sake. So he's still there?
Yeah. I left all my doors open.
Did you leave him some food or something?
I should leave him some
feel like he's
water.
hungry.
He needs water.
Probably he does need water. Maybe he's hallucinating at this
He's just
point.
got to be so smart to get out now.
I don't know if
Can't he
I don't know where they
smell-
hit on the smart
Can't
register.
he smell like the lilacs?
I don't know.
Because the lilacs are wafting into the house. So I figure he can follow the smell of the lilacs.
I have a feeling that if you left all your doors open, you're going to come home to more things in your house.
I just feel like would everybody who's listening just please send your energy to little Chippie to help guide him out of my house so he can safely go home. Chippie. Well, if I have a personal relationship with them, then I call them Chippie.
Oh.
They're all kind of Chippie.
Yeah, John
to me.
calls them Chi-Chis.
Chi-Chi?
Yeah. That's his name for like the dog. To say to the dog, do you see a Chi-Chi? Like that's, he says it to the dog.
Okay, I see
Ira calls
Chippie.
them all Tom. And I'm assuming it's from like,
All Tom?
he thinks that all chipmunks are one chipmunk that we see at our house.
Oh, he calls him
He's like,
Tom?
oh, look, there's Tom.
Really?
Yeah, he like doesn't really think that maybe the one by the house is not the same as the one that we see a few minutes later on the stone wall. He's like, Tom's following us.
I could have sworn that I saw this chipmunk outside the other day because this chipmunk stopped outside and looked at me. I was in the house. The chipmunk was outside, and I looked at him, and I thought to myself, "There's the chipmunk that was stuck in the house. I'm so glad to see him outside, and he's free." But he's kind of looking back into the house, because he vaguely remembers that there's something different in the house than he thought before. Like his whole perception of what the house represents has shifted because he's been inside it and then escaped. But that was all a projection on my part.
I think you should write a song called Exploding Chippie.
Well, I think that Davis
in a Jamaican
Brothers,
accent,
that
please.
Davis Brothers should write that tune.
Yeah.
As an update, perhaps to Exploding
Right. What
Bass.
rhymes with Chippie though?
How about Tom?
I don't
Or
know.
Chi-Chi?
Maybe.
Chi-Chi might be...
That would sound good in a Jamaican accent. Yeah.
Okay. They have an assignment.
So all your doors are open now, and it's maybe there, maybe not there.
I'm hoping when I go back that
How will you know?
I'm just gonna believe.
All right.
I have faith in Chippie's quest for freedom.
Well,
Oh boy,
exciting.
it's so much going on in the world. I just can't keep up with it. These important things that happen, and we can hardly rise to the occasion. I mean, God knows I try.
My kid is in a Shakespearean play tonight, and the teacher emailed me this week saying, and my kids aren't with me this week, they're visiting their dad, and the teacher emailed me this week saying, your son has not learned any of his lines. Can you make sure he learns his lines by Friday? And I had to email back and say, no can do. I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure this one out. I can't. I would love to make sure he learns his lines.
Which kid?
Ira.
Really? How many lines does he have?
Well, I thought he only had a few lines, but turns out he has a whole long speech toward the end of the play,
no.
and he had never. I didn't know anything
I'm
about
telling
it.
you, the only Shakespeare I was ever in was from Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. I think.
Does that count?
Wait a minute. Was that right? It was in junior high school, and I just had one line. And it was so hard. I was so terrified. I've told you this line before. Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button. That was my line.
What was the hardness about it? Just because you didn't want to?
Because it was Shakespeare. It just freaked me out.
That's the thing. I don't know if fifth graders can memorize lines that are not written the way that they speak. So it's hard for them.
Some can. People are different.
I was listening to my little niece recite her lines to me this week, practicing.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know how to punctuate them or say them in a way that sounds right because Shakespeare clearly wrote not in a way that we speak now. And kids, it feels to me like no one explained that to the kids.
Well,
like what they meant by those things.
That should be the good director.
So they're just memorizing the words, but they are saying them all wrong.
Well,
and that's hard to memorize. Like if you have no context,
right? But the real Shakespeare theater camps and stuff that are for kids. They actually explore the language and they explore how to say it.
Right.
You know, because you're right. You can't say it correctly unless you have a clue
doesn't
about
make
what you're
sense to
talking
them.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That people spoke differently,
Yeah.
and especially,
Right.
you know.
On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, a kid would never be able to say that.
I mean, it's
in a way
taken
that
me
made
how
any
many
sense.
decades to kind of grasp that line and
know.
make it my own. And I do agree, basically, that on Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
I know.
Yeah,
But-
like bravo.
Try that when you're 10, though.
Yeah.
Is your phone whistling?
No, it's Keith and Tina saying, I hope that Chippie is all that is missing tonight. Oh, God. I know. It's like in a lot of places, if you said, oh, all my doors are open. I left all my doors unlocked and open.
Well,
But I have a monster. I have a monster that guards.
very vicious attack
I'm
cats
vicious and a vicious monster. I didn't tell people about the monster usually because I
Right.
don't want to scare. Generally,
Yeah.
I don't like to scare people. I like people to come and feel welcome at my house.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a bad person, man, you're going to come up against some pretty big stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to say what it is, but
Good idea.
it looks
I
like
had-
Jello.
This will be right up your alley. You're going to love this.
You missed
It's
that.
super. It looks like Jello. I don't miss anything. Even when I
Yeah,
interrupt you, I still
know.
can hear you.
I know. Go ahead.
I just interrupt anyway.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a talent I have.
Interrupting with impunity. Go ahead.
This is totally right up your alley. I had Reiki done on my knee. This
Reiki.
week.
Reiki.
Reiki or what Reiki? I don't know.
I think about Reiki. I just watch out who's doing it to me because it's their energy kind of can get interfering with the channel of the.
Oh God!
I
Don't
just would
tell me
think
these
of-
things.
no, I would just
I thought
think
I was
about
being
it.
super open-minded for once. And I
Yeah,
was like, fine, do the Reiki on my.
Well, it's like any
broken
kind of
ACL.
energy work. If I'm going to have somebody actually messing with my energy, I like to feel like their energy is pretty copacetic with mine.
I don't know about those.
Okay,
things very
well,
much,
go
but-
ahead. How did it work?
Well, I don't know. She just put her hands on my knee where my ACL is about done, and it was really hurting, and stayed like that for like a half an hour, and it was weird because my knee became extremely hot. It was like boilingly hot,
Wow.
and it wasn't like from her because she was barely touching.
It's like alchemy.
It was really weird. So,
Yeah.
and technically, I don't really believe in that stuff, but I thought, what the heck?
Here's a question.
It really hurts, and
you-
I'm gonna.
But do you
whatever,
have to
I'll try it.
do you have to believe in it for it to work?
I feel like that's one of the things that you have to believe in it to work. But
I don't know about that.
okay, well,
I beg to differ.
something happened. Something definitely happened.
Something happened.
like
something
there was no
physiological.
There was no reason for my knee to get super, super, super hot,
Yeah, so there was an interaction between her hands
Right.
and your knee.
which were not.
was
it
definitely-
wasn't like she was rubbing it or creating any heat. She was just
Yeah.
holding it like barely touching it.
It was a molecular conversation.
So that was interesting, but.
I love that when energy talks. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you love it too. You love it when I talk about it. Especially
I just like to have something to make fun of.
okay.
That's important to me,
Well,
to be able to make fun of you sometimes.
I invite it certainly all the time.
I do too.
LOL.
technically. You're just nicer than me.
LOL. I looked.
Lots of love.
I did some research into that acronym.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different meanings for it. It's not just laugh out loud like
No,
you thought.
I know. I
You
said
wanna
it's
know what
lots
it
of
is?
love.
Okay, you know what else it is?
What?
I bet you haven't thought of these. I got a whole list.
All right.
Little Old Lady, League of Legends, Labor of Love, Land of Lakes, Loss of Life, Locks of Love, Lowest of the Low, Lady of the Lake, Leg of Lamb, Land of Lincoln.
What the hell? None of these have anything to do with each other. So
No, but just
that's a
don't,
really
don't
tricky
assume.
acronym there, people to use. I
Exactly. If you
think I
get,
think you ought to
you gotta just
have
be,
a little more discretion with your LOLs.
Yeah, you got to be on your toes. Stay on your toes because you might think somebody was laughing out loud, but
When
no,
all they
no.
really wanted to say was leg of lamb.
Yeah. Yeah. but I thought of an acronym.
What?
Well, I think this is a really useful one. NWIM. And so
I feel like acronyms you have to be able to pronounce them.
I wish it had turned out that way.
I don't know how to pronounce an N and a W together.
NWIM. I wish it was better. I'll work on it. Like, I could possibly turn it into a different phrase that meant the same thing.
Okay, well,
but basically, it's what
here?
you say. It's what you say when you get a text message. No, when you send a text message that gets taken the wrong way, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
So it means NWIM, not what I meant.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be useful?
Yeah.
Not what I meant. That should clear up a lot.
Should.
Because then if they're interested, they'll say, well, what did you mean? And if they're not interested, it's like, oh, whatevs. Whatevs. Okay, I won't take it that way. Whatevs.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, okay.
That
you can
be
use
a good
it.
one. Okay.
But if we could think of something that was easier to remember, because you're right, NWIM just isn't.
But there's a whole bunch that aren't really pronounceable, like the romp schmuff, small, no, or sm. I didn't know it. I didn't know what the
Sorry, what's that one?
SMH, the
Wait, say
shaking
that-
my head one.
Can you say that one
I was
again?
like, I thought people were just saying sm. I was like,
I had never heard that. Shaking my
when
head.
they say SMH after something.
Nobody ever SMH'd me.
No one, I guess, ever shakes their head at you.
Wow, I wish
I
they
don't know.
would.
But I was like, why is everyone saying sm all the time? Because people say meh all the time. And I was like, oh, maybe it's like sm is the new meh.
I often have to look up acronyms. I mean, I've got LOL pretty well down.
I'm
but
too old
the
for
rest
this.
of them,
I don't care. I don't care
Like, in my
anymore.
humble opinion. Okay, I figured that out. But I'm telling you, I had to look that one up.
I'm Ho.
Do you know that one?
You just
Imho?
made that up.
No,
you
I did not. In my humble opinion, I am Ho. That is a one.
No,
That
it's
is
not.
Yes, it is.
I've never seen that.
That is a
you
one.
didn't make that up. Nobody. You know
That
what?
is-
Kids don't even know what humble means. They're not going to say. They don't even know what. No.
This is
Those
for
aren't-
older people.
Oh,
This is for mature people. This is for a mature audience.
that's a
Imho.
thing, though. You didn't just make that up.
No, I did not. A good friend of mine has used it
All right.
recently, and now I understand
Okay,
what
all right.
the
It
heck
just that does
he's
not
talking
seem
about.
that does not seem to fit with pop culture. There's no humble opinions in pop culture.
Yeah, well, some of us cool kind of boomer people have infiltrated those ranks.
You're not old enough to be a boomer.
I'm a
Don't
little.
pretend you're a boomer.
I'm on the low scale of the booms.
The other day at clogging class, I was wondering what a female kangaroo is called.
You were?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's a clogging move called the Joey. And everyone was like, why is it called Joey? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe a Joey it's either someone's name or maybe it's like the baby kangaroo. And if somebody didn't know that a baby kangaroo was called a Joey. So then we all got talking and they said, well, what's, our kangaroos like bucks and does, but I guess boy kangaroos can sometimes be called boomers. The boomers and flyers.
What about boomerangs? Are they?
Those are Australian.
Yes.
Whoa. Well, the boys are boomers and the girls are flyers, or bucks and does, or Jack and Jennies. Australians have a lot of words for things.
So do Americans.
Right. Okay. Anyway, off track with your boomer, since I don't think you are a boomer.
Did we play the second song yet?
No, but I hope to hell it's as good as the first one.
Well, let's see. This is called Fool's Gold.
It's already not good enough.
I don't know because I didn't write it down. I'll find out once I start playing it.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get it going.
Up in high country, we're living on mountain time. Here in high country, in the shadow of the ponderosa pine. 1, 2, 3. When I first arrived up in high country, the air was thin and cold. I set my sound of that train whistle blow. And I didn't need a salesman's plea, I was already sold. The man who wrote the plan for this little town, well, he must have broke the mold. Up in high country, living on mountain time. Here in high country, in the shadow of the ponderosa pines. Francisco peaks and the sunset alpine glow. To the south, the cold waters of Hodo Creek, rushing over our swimming holes. To the east, the majesty of the painted desert, every color of the rainbow. To the west, don't forget the grandest of canyons where the Colorado flows. Up in high country, living on mountain time. Here in high country, in the shadow of the ponderosa pines. Leaves turn green to gold, come tumbling down onto the ground, and getting ready for the snow. In the spring the rain's coming back again, and that old zephyr blows. Summertime's our little monsoon secret, but everybody around here knows. Up in high country, living on mountain time. Here in high country, in the shadow of the ponderosa pines. In the shadow of the ponderosa pines. In the shadow of the ponderosa pines.
Okay, that was not fool's gold, because my pie pad is misbehaving as usual. That was High Country by Nolan McKelvey.
Well, at least you had that part right. Oh, you didn't say that part.
Yeah, but
Until
now
now.
I have.
Now you
Now I have.
Now it's all okay.
Yeah.
There, I just posted pictures of our our not drugs on
Okay.
social media.
Fantabulous.
Great. Back to business here.
Great.
Are you going to the Memorial Day parade?
I never do.
But I'm going to be helping the 8th grade sell lemonade.
No, I'm just not social that way. I'd rather go to the hardware
Is it
store.
going to rain? It's going to rain.
Tomorrow, maybe.
Not on the parade day.
When's the parade day?
Monday. But
Monday.
there's fire trucks.
That's okay. I'd rather
Don't
go to
you
the
like
hardware
fire
store.
trucks? My brother-in-law just bought a fire truck from like the 60s. And it's completely useless because it's not really a fire truck. It's a ladder truck. And rural fire departments don't need ladder trucks because nobody has a house really bigger than 2 stories around here.
That's not true. Mine's 3 stories.
No, I know, but their regular ladders go to your house. I'm just saying ladder trucks are things that are useful in cities. Or he's decided maybe he'll just be the kitten rescue posse because that is something a ladder truck could be used for.
Nice. I like that. I know people who collect old ambulances too.
Where do they put them?
That's why they have to build outbuildings. Like that's why guys build outbuildings, because they just get stuff,
their
big
ambulances
stuff, and
in.
they just need place to put
My dad
it.
was collecting pianos for a while, and that was big enough.
Yeah,
There were like 5 or something in our house growing up. Pianos take up some space.
Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah. Yeah, so I did. I got my Felco clippers, the new blade put on.
I saw a picture of you.
You know
with
how
them.
much
Is that
they
you got a
charge
cut
me?
on your hand?
I just want to. Yeah, that's what I did. I did later that day. I cut myself with the clippers, but that was just to show myself how sharp indeed they were with the new blade on.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the bargain of the century. If anybody wants to feel like they're going to get a good deal, go to Welch's Hardware. It just costs you
a button quail.
Okay,
there.
but I'm talking about my clippers still.
All right, I just, in case people wanted to do like a 2-for-1 thing,
Yeah, I
get
did-
clippers and button quail. They don't have any button quail, so.
Okay, that's good to know.
just wanted to let you
$8.
So your clippers sharpened or getting
$8, and the guy smiled.
Wow.
He had a nice smile.
All the Welch's. Wait. Do
one
we
of the
have
guy-
a rule against
Is that sexist?
No, that's not what I was going
Yeah,
to
the
say. I
nice
was going to
smile?
say we're not allowed to promote businesses that sponsor us, but Welch's doesn't sponsor us. So do we get to promote
Exactly.
them?
Yes, that's why. So we don't want them to be our sponsor because I always have high praise
Well,
for
it's
them.
because we always go there. So it would be bad if they sponsored us because
yeah, I
then,
hope they don't.
then we couldn't talk about them all the
Yeah.
time.
And whereas with Todd's businesses, well, we don't get our houses painted by Rivendell Restoration.
I don't think we're supposed to say
We don't get oil put into, like, we don't get used cooking oil put into our cars that take gas, right?
True,
So we can't
true.
say how great that is. We're not gonna.
Sometimes we go to the
We
mountain
do-
folk concerts.
Yeah. But let's just stay neutral on that.
Okay, neutral.
And Howeville Farm, I bought straw from them once, but that's
can't-
neutral. That's neutral.
What?
Isn't that neutral?
I think we can't even say that we had anything to do with them.
Okay, forget it.
I don't.
And then we are
Todd
sponsored
probably
by-
has to tell us the rules again because I kind of got the rules, but I don't remember if we can't. Whatever, they sponsor us and we thank them.
You can't say that we don't
5
try.
Old Tavern and Grill, Rivendell Restoration, Mountain Folk, Tunbridge Grease Collective, Howeville Farms, and did I get them all?
Probably. That's enough.
Okay,
Because I want to talk about Spangler Candy Company.
great, do it.
Okay, it's the end of the road for the Spangler Candy Company.
What do they even
They were-
make? Are they the
they were
people who
sold
make
at auction.
Oh no, Necco wafers have
Yes.
done too. Is it
So
the same one.
So Necco wafers and candy hearts have been sold at auction. And I'm actually kind of relieved to
They
tell
were
you the
gross.
truth.
They
no,
were
I'm going
gross.
to
I
tell
mean,
you, those candy hearts have gotten me into more trouble.
Did you?
Those innocent little candy hearts caused me to get
put
married
What?
the last time.
That was like my very first boyfriend. I put one that said "Say Yes" in his locker.
Exactly. They get you into trouble. You can't just cavalier, you just can't be casual about using those candy hearts. I actually had the audacity to use the one that said "Marry Me."
Oh,
I had the
God.
audacity to use that, and I had to back it up. I wanted to be true to my candy heart message, but you can't live your life that way. You know what I'm saying? It's not smart. So I am
Those
glad.
the only candies that have messages on them. Sometimes the Dove chocolates have little like quotes inside the wrapper.
Yeah, well, just don't trust candy in general to say things that you can't say. Because if you can't say it and you have to say it with a piece of candy, there's something is amiss.
Why would they auction off candy hearts? I mean, as disgusting tasting as they are, they're pretty popular.
Well, that's
I can't
why.
imagine that they got bankrupt or anything.
Oh, sure, they could be. If they're not, part of the big military-industrial complex, then they're probably getting shunted off to the side. But some collector who appreciates the finer things in life is probably ponied up some money.
Maybe.
And now,
I feel like a bunch of old school candy falls underneath that same company.
Like what?
Like candy cigarettes, which are
yeah.
probably not cool to have anymore. And they were kind of gross and chalky too.
Yeah,
it's like
they were
every
gross and
piece of
chalky.
candy that
I
whatever
couldn't
this
eat
company
those.
has makes is, I think their
kind of
main
gross.
ingredient was just chalk, right? I mean, it's
It was
Necco wafers are super
non-edible.
chalky. Yeah,
It was
like
sugar,
a chalk / wax.
sugar with something non-edible.
Yeah,
But it was just edible enough that if you added sugar to it, you could. It was probably asbestos.
Remember the little tiny wax soda bottles where you bite off the top of the wax and then you drink like the weird
Yes,
gross juice out of them?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, I
those
have
were-
a feeling that's from the same place.
But that was super fun, and the colors were so naturally, effervescently
what was in there though?
bright,
It was like a
like
nucleic
fluorescent.
waste
That's it.
that you drink.
Those colors, those were all the
Somehow contained in
Those
a
were
little
all
wax
the
bottle.
Yes, the poisonous red dye number
Yes.
5 and
Pixie
all.
sticks,
Orange,
I bet you.
Orange dye number 7.
Pixie sticks seemed a little like chalk dusty.
Yeah,
Or maybe that
those
was
were-
just a tube of sugar. I can't remember.
Those were gross. It's just like pouring sugar down your throat. But it was so fun to rip the thing open. I mean, somebody figured that out, that packaging is everything. I mean, it's everything. Look at you and me, how we're packaged.
It's sure not my everything.
It's like it kind of determines to some extent what
I'm
we
like
attract.
in the second pile. I'm like in the I was packaged a little wrong. I feel I should be different than I look.
What do you mean? Like inside you are different.
Yeah. I'm like super cute inside.
But you attract I can say that the outside package has a certain attractive quality that draws things in, but the deeper being that you are, now that's what really, really determines how your life goes.
Yeah.
It's
wax.
It's an
bottles.
interesting relationship, yes, between the outside and the
What was with
inside.
the wax lips? Were you supposed to eat them or you just play with them?
You know what? I think it's so gross when they started making kids put those big, mouth guards in.
Well, they saved a lot of teeth, Kristina.
I know, but why do we have to play games where
Break
you're
our
going to
teeth?
knock your teeth out? I
don't
think
know.
we should be playing
I think
other
kids
games.
will naturally play games that knock their teeth out, even if we don't introduce them. So
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. How can
it's
you...
just a helmet. It's just a helmet for your
You
face.
just can't
your
save
mouth.
people from life. Life is freaking
Maybe
dangerous.
kids should only play teeth knocking out games when they're little, so that they don't knock out the real teeth.
I just think kids need to go out into the woods and play with sticks and streams
Yeah.
and mud
You knock
and
out-
stuff.
you knock
and
out body parts with
sticks,
like
you might.
eyeballs.
Well, you might put up a swing and then the rope breaks and you fall and you knock your teeth out. I mean, these things do happen.
I knocked my front teeth out on turtle bike.
Yeah.
It was like a Hot Wheel. I mean, it was like a Big Wheels, those big wheel bikes that you sit on real low to the ground, but it was in the shape of a turtle. And we had a very steep front yard, and I would get on turtle bike and stick my legs way up in the air so you don't get whacked when the pedals are flying. And I would just stick my legs way up the air. This is like I was 4 or 5, and fly down our hill. But there was a rock somewhere, and turtle bike came to a very abrupt stop on the rock, and so my head slammed into turtle bike's handlebars, and out went my front teeth.
Oh, ouch.
So for many, many pictures of my childhood, I'm missing lots of teeth. And then I knocked the bottoms out playing hide and seek in my grandmother's shower. And it was slippery. And I got in to hide. And I slipped and fell and knocked the bottoms out. So I had like no teeth here in the front.
Yeah. And you weren't wearing any kind of sissy mouth guard.
No, but I don't think people put sissy mouth guards on their kids before they play hide and seek or ride on turtle bike. So I'm just saying.
I'm not really against mouth guards. I'm just against a culture that is so hyper worried about life.
Mouth guards are hard to fit. You put them in boiling water and then you put them straight into your mouth and you have to bite on this hot thing and then they never fit right anyway. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm still the jury's still out for me on mouth guards.
Yeah. So my gardening job, I just started back up landscaping this week, and I drive into my client's driveway, and usually I'm there by myself, right? I get this luxurious estate to myself all day, and I get to...
Have there been lots of salamanders? Because I love them, and I see them
I haven't seen any.
a lot this week.
But so I drive in, and there's 10 trucks.
Oh,
It's almost time to go.
what?
Yeah. Well, anyway.
talk fast?
I couldn't pee behind the tractor shed. That's kind of that's where I was going with the whole story.
That is a bummer.
It's hard to be the only female on an all male
job site.
with roofers and contractors and stonemasons. Anyway,
They make those little pee-wee things. That's like a
Pee-wee.
little cone that you just can stick in your pants so that you can pee standing up like they do. But
oh shoot, yeah, I'm trying to
wrecked the
cue.
pie pad.
I'm
What do you
trying to
think?
cue up. I
Are they
hate
called
this
pee-wees?
thing.
No, they're called she-wees. Sorry, not pee-wees.
I never heard of that. See, you're supposed to be able to. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to go out on this track of music called "Fool's Gold." If we can
Which
do
you
it.
thought you already played, but you didn't.
Yeah. Okay, we have to go.
All right.
Thanks for
guys.
listening.
Tune back
We'll
in
see
next
you
Friday,
again
11th Hour
soon.
Radio.
I've been a gleaner in the wasteland and never gone wanting. Been a dowser in a dry spell, got drunk on a glass of pain, struck down by love, healed up by lightning. I've ransomed captive joy for a fortune in fool's gold. Slept on the firewalk, woken in a windstorm. I've been a mover of mountains, been a sailor on scrub and scree, drawn lines in the heavens, seen worlds in the grasslands. I've dug with my bare heart for a fortune in fool's gold. I've mainlined miracles, no one was dealing. Made peace with the dark side as it made its ceaseless rounds. I've carried the lost boy, I've clung to the wild man's shoulders, believed with all my soul in the power of fool's gold. Yeah,